segunAyoade, and I'll be your main host for these sessions. All right, so first question, why am I doing this? For the past couple years, I have been a middleman helping a lot of people and businesses succeed unofficially. I get calls sometimes and says, oh, KJ, I beg, I want to do this thing, or what should I do? Did you have a problem? KJ, please, do you know somebody that can, all of that, all of those questions. And right now I'm at the point where I want to, build people, not just have randoms that come in and out. These principles I've learned. I have my partner for personal development sessions we've done close to 50 of those, I think. And at this point, I think that it's right that I come out. I've been in the shadows, I've been behind the scenes for quite a number of people and brands in the city, outside the city. And at this point, it's important, I think it's important that I come out and, do this on a larger scale, which is why I'm starting this. Now, today's session will have today we'll have three sessions, The first one would be one that is very important because it will help you find yourself. A lot of people in business start businesses, but they don't understand their own self. So the businesses fail because they don't even understand who they are. Which is where businesses start. Any sensible business, the best business, the biggest businesses in the world have the personalities of the founders at the core. Which is what we're trading mostly today. Having the right personality, having the right habits, and skills that are foundational to building a fantastic brand across any sector. Now, what you'll be hearing today are relevant across all sectors. So it's not just entertainment, manufacturing, or whatever consulting, whatever it is. Across all sectors, everything you will learn in this bootcamp is very viable, very important. So it is important that you take everything you hear and listen to and do all that very important, very, very seriously. Without much ado, please join me as I welcome the first speaker for today. Someone who known him a few years ago. And now let me read the profile because sometimes familiarity don't allow us to see the value of the people we have. Sometimes, but I never make that mistake. So here, meet Rotimi Daramola. Is a certified content marketing specialist with close to a decade of experience helping brands to monetize their written, audio, and video content. During the time, he has worked with brands like Guardian Nigeria, guess what, of course, NairaBet, where he wrote a 500-word blog post every day for 3 years and 9 months. If you know what that means, you clap right now. Writing a blog post every day, 500 words, every day for 3 years, every day. Right? And then Go.com. A lucky bet he led a digital campaign that resulted in over 6,000 new sign-ups in a month. I know what you understand what that means, 6,000 in 1 month, right? Okay. Rotimi is an expert at starting conversations and runs one of the longest running football podcasts in Nigeria, the first X Minutes on Twitter. With that, please welcome my friend, my brother, Papi. Papi the Great, Papi the Awesome, Papi the Amazing.
Good morning, everybody. Standing on our existing protocol is important. So, thank you for that, Segun. It's good to be here. It's also good to be a part of the maiden edition of this Brand Dev BootCamp. And I think when he spoke about the idea to me, the first thing that came to my mind was the first ever session we had. I know he spoke about, we had one together. And I looked at the book that we jotted things in. And the date was July 2017. And I remember we met with a woman, a particular woman in Lagos. And the woman came complaining, she actually came complaining that her business, I need to grow my business, I need to grow. And when she left, she realized that she actually had deeper issues than growing the business, which she needed to sort out. So that's the first thing that came to my mind. A lot of people come and say, my business is not this, my business is not that, my business is not exactly this. And the first question, or one of the many questions is, okay, leave the business first, which a lot of people find very difficult to leave because they are so attached to it. My business. Let's talk about you first. A lot of people think they figured out themselves, but then they realize that, okay, there's still something that is missing. There's this one thing, this about me that I have not necessarily set in place. Like if I align it, I may not necessarily have to think of my business not making money anymore because I would already fix the problem. So the problem is not necessarily the business not making money or the business not being popular yet. The problem might be you who is running the business. Have you aligned yourself enough? Do you know yourself enough? A lot of people say, I know myself. If I tell you, write a short profile, this, that. But the question is, do you really know yourself? And if you listen to Shegun, when we started, he spoke about running sessions together. And these sessions involved talking to people one-on-one, just letting them talk about themselves. We may not be able to do that now because, of course, we're in mass, some people are joining online. So that's why we've created a form. If we can have a form, I don't know if you sent the link earlier. So if you're online, you can just, we feel along. I'm the one that will take you through the process of exactly. So this is what the form looks like. This is like a summary, but usually what we will do is that we have a one-on-one where you sit down and we talk about this thing. So right now, I will want you, if you're watching online, if you're here physically, I want you to fill this form as honestly as possible because it will help you to get a lot from what is to come after. That's why we're putting this first. That's why we're putting this first. So there's a link. Check?
Yeah.
Oh, great. So I think people have links already. So your brand name. First, I would be talking you through each question. So let's start. Of course, your brand name. Fill your brand name. Now, you know your brand name. Of course, you do that as quickly as possible. The next question is about me. Now, when I say about you, a lot of people tend to limit it and say, this and that. Write everything. When I say everything, I mean everything about you. Now, let me give you an example. There was a time we had a session with a banker, and she was one of the persons that after we were done with our session, she doubled our pay. I said, what are you guys doing in Ibadan? You should be in Lagos now, you shouldn't be in Ibadan. I was like, anywhere the spirit leads, that's where we find ourselves. Not Bernardo, like Tella suggested earlier. So about me, write about yourself. When I say write about yourself, she said, I have 3 kids, I'm this, I'm a wife. Some people say I'm a choir member. I love God. I like to eat amala. That's you. So you can see the direction we're taking this. It's not to stereotype about me. I'm 5'8", I'm this, I'm this. What you need in this session is to dig deep inside of you and pour out. So you are not holding anything back, because at this point in time, you're welcome. At this point in time, you need to We're in a place where you express yourself. That's what this session is primarily about. Where you express yourself, you pour out. Okay, about me, I love to sleep early. Some people love to sleep, don't like sleeping early. They are is in night owls, exactly. The best ideas come to them 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I have friends who don't sleep until 4 a.m. So write all of that about I love gaming, I love pressing my phone, I'm a TikTok person. That's you. Don't run away from it. So the mistake a lot of people make is that at this point in this session, they tend to, don't let me write this, don't let me write this. For instance, now, I love football. I love football. So much so that when I married my wife agreed that she's my second wife. My first wife is football. I love football. So write everything about yourself. I love going to parties. Let me see, one of the weirdest ones. I think one of our clients said she loves hosting parties. She loves hosting get-togethers, just having people around. That's a kind of person. Write it down. This will usually take a while. So, and this is me just talking you through what is expected, or should I say, how you can get the maximum from this session. So don't hold anything back. I love to swim. I love spending a lot of time on the internet, on the dark internet, or dark web as I like to call it. I love endless scrolling on social media. Just put everything out. I'm shy when it comes to getting to a crowded place. I don't know how to hold conversations. I'm scared when it comes to public speaking. Just pour everything out. This is the part where you just, if you want to, you can just, bullet points if you have a chance on the list. If not, you can just, I'm this, comma, I'm this, comma, I'm this, and, all right? So, I'll just give you like a few more seconds. Obviously, at points like this, there are some things you will not remember until we get to the latter part of the document. So it's okay, it may not necessarily be an exhaustive list now. But by the time we're almost done, you'll remember, I did write something in about me. You go and put it back. So this is me just talking you through the whole process. Okay. So I like to sing, I like to dance. This is me, this is who I am. No holding back, because you will need it to make sense. Yes, great. So can we just, great. So I know you have a lot of things about you, but let me just be chiming the next one in, which is roles. Now, like I said earlier, we spoke to somebody. We had a session with somebody, and we spoke to her, what are the roles that you're playing in life? That's what this next one is about. And she told us, she said, I'm a mother. A mother is a role, she has kids. I'm a wife. She's a wife to a partner, to a husband. She says she is a choir member. So think of your life now. What roles are you feeling? Are you a business owner? Are you a sister? Are you a child? Because if you have to call your parents every once in a while, you're a child. If you have a husband or a wife, then you're a partner, you're a spouse. If you have kids, then you are either a mother or a father. So think in that line and fill this part accordingly. So people say, I'm a neighbor. They probably have a good relationship with the people they live with. Some don't say they are a neighbor, so probably they don't think in that line, but it's fine also. So it's not always an exhaustive list here, but at least try your best to dig deep. I'm a, what else? Maybe I'm a content developer. Maybe I'm a CEO or COO, as the case may be. So feel as honestly as possible this next part. It doesn't necessarily have to be in order, just as it comes to your mind. As it comes to your mind, I'm a friend. Yes, some say I'm a friend. Some say I'm a co-worker or something. Some will even say I'm a prayer partner. So feel accordingly as it comes to your mind here. So just moving along because of our time. Now this part is almost as similar to the About Me part. But your passion and your interest, though they look similar, but they're just a subsidiary of this part. So your passion and interest, you can now look at what you wrote here and expatiate here. I love watching movies. You probably did not write it here. Interest. That's why we did not. If we use passion alone, because passion has been bastardized these days. So interest, okay, that's basic enough. I love singing. Whenever KJ Sheikh says there's a karaoke, whatever, I must be there. I must make time. For me now, wherever the football is, that's where I am. Wherever the football, that's one of my interests. I love speaking also, that's why I'm hosting, or I host a podcast. I have a podcast I'm running. I love writing, that's why I have a blog that I'm also running. Sometimes I write on my LinkedIn also. So what are your passions? What are your interests? Do you love talking? Do you love baking? Do you love coding? Are you interested in cartoons? No matter how awkward or weird they are, listen. It's very, very, very important. Very, very important. So we have passion, interest. Like I said earlier, your list, by the time you're done and we're done with this session, you will still go back and look at it and say, I've missed something here, I've not added something here. So, I trust that you're almost done with passion and interest, so we'll just move things along to the money channel. So, the money channels basically is, where is my money coming from? Where is the money that I'm making coming from? I realized there was a session. This is a very, very interesting one for us because we have done this for we've been doing this for 6-7 years now. So most of the time, as I'm talking, I'm remembering sessions we've had with people. I remember there was a time we had a session with somebody and they said one of his money sources is family money. Even though this person is married with kids, probably maybe there's a gratuity or something, the family money somewhere. He said family money is part of it. He mentioned his work, he mentioned his hobby. So mention where the money that is keeping you, bankrolling you. Let me put it that way. What things are bankrolling you, or what people are bankrolling? I think that's a more collective way to put it. So who is bankrolling me, or what is bankrolling me? So maybe if your business is making you money and you're spending the money, put it there. If you're still collecting money for your parents, put it there. If you have gigs you run on the side hustle, put it there also. Doesn't necessarily have to be in order. This is you just thinking out, stepping outside of the box and seeing how things have shaped out to be over time in your life. So we're done with your roles. Shall I give you please? So we can scroll, go. Let's see down here. Money channels. All right. Oh, great. The big dream. So we will realize that we did not say big dreams. It's one. The big dream. And a lot of people take a lot of time here because apparently we all have a lot of things that we want to hit, target, goals and everything. However, there is one important one, which is why I said the big dream. They say big dreams. So what's that important one to you that if you hit it, you have made it in life? You have made it in life. Regardless of what anybody says that, what's it making? So that's what this part is. Your big dream. It could be related to anything. Anything. I remember one of my big dreams was getting featured on go.com when I was still a local. No, it's true. I wrote it on my bucket list then, and I think somebody sent the mail of the Goal Africa to me. I sent my pitch. I sent an European pitch and a Nigerian pitch. No, I sent all European pitches to me. The guy was like, if you're a Nigerian, why are you sending me pitches for European clubs? Why don't you write something about Nigerian clubs? And I eventually wrote something about Eimba. That was 2017 thereabouts. And from there we got 2019, did something 2023 also for the World Cup. So your big dream is yours. You don't have to shy away from it. Because a lot of people say, well, this is my dream, it may not make sense. It doesn't necessarily have to make sense to anybody. So long as it is what that when you do it, when you get it, you feel satisfied, you feel happy, you feel that, oh, if I don't do anything else in my life again, if I have done this, I've made it. So I think that's explanatory enough, and I'm sure that we've written that down. So let's just move to the next thing on the list. Okay, I think that's priorities. Yeah. So, your priorities. I think this speaks for itself, but I'll go a bit deeper. What are the most important things to you? What are the most important things to you as a person? Some people I know, if you give me $10,000 that call somebody now that they will not pick, I know 5 people in my head, they will never pick it. Their phones are not their priority. And there are some people that the first thing they do when they wake up in the morning is check who has called me, who has sent me a message, before they do anything. It's a weird thing to think of as a priority, but it's part of it. Because it's these little things that we leave out and say, it doesn't really matter. That at the end of the day, when you put them together, they accumulate to become a force that is almost non-negligible. So, okay.
So usually when we do these sessions together, he does most of the talking, and I just come in and I chip something in, which I just saw now. So the priorities, right? Go back to all your answers. Check through all your answers and pick what your priorities are. Do you understand? You know you've listed up a lot of things. Your role, your about you, your roles, your passions and interests, your money channels, your big dream. You've written all of those. So go back and then check one after the other. What are those priorities from everything you've listed out? Thank you, Matt.
So this is how we usually do it. We'll sit together with the person, and Sheldon does a lot of listening, and he just chips something in. Oh, say this, do that. So we might need, after priorities, what else? You see, abilities.
Priorities?
After priorities, I think it's abilities. I think.
Goals for the priorities. Goals for the priorities.
No. Are we done with the goals for? Is everybody done with the priorities? Let's even start with that.
The whole list.
I have gone through it and said, this is my priority. I want to be the best daughter that a mother can have. To some people, it doesn't matter. To some people, it's everything. If they satisfy their parents, they are as good as fulfilled in life. So regardless of how weird it sounds, it's yours. That's why it's your list. That's why you should make it. It's very, very, very important. So I'll take us back so that this will usher us into the next field to be filled. What feels that? Field to be filled. I'm on the roll this morning. Anyway, so next field. Glory. So the next field is goals for your priority. Now, I'll take us back to a client who had, I think it was a man, and he said he studied accounting. He left his job to actually start an accounting firm. And his priority was to have his own business. His priority was to have his own business. And the goal for his priority was to be one of the top accounting firms in Lagos. So he had a priority to have his business. Then the goal for his priority, he didn't just have a priority. Then he had a set target for his priority. My priority is to own my business. My goal for my priority is for my business to become one of the top accounting firms in Lagos. So use that to answer the next question, which is, what are your goals for the priorities you have listed? Now take them one after the other. Priority A, this is the goal I have for it. Priority B, this is the goal I have for it. If you have 3 or more, just go down the line like that, like that. I remember I spoke to a banker, and she had the goal of, I think, moving from manager, branch manager to probably group management or something. Priority was to move up higher on the in the order of things in the company, and also get great. And not just that, I think she was head of a branch in a particular region. Her priority was to become a group manager for like a wider region, and to also climb up in the order of things or the hierarchy in the company. So we have the priorities, we have the goals for priorities. So whatever you're going to write in your comments, of course, will be advised by our darling Rev, my dear. Oh, is this being recorded? Sorry, that's not professional of me.
Yeah, when you call me Rev, you know you are casting yourself. For those that know that.
I was saying something earlier that all fields should be filled. I needed to repeat it for you. Yeah?
Oh, young man.
You're on the roll. So at this point in time, I think, are we all done? For those who are following online, those who are here present with us.
That's true. Online, let's check the online audience.
Let's check the online. It's important that they are not left out.
Online audience, are we good? I think we're good.
Oh, great. So, this part I'll just invite Shegun to take it from there. Now that we know ourselves, or we are seeing ourselves, to now advise on what to do with what we now have. Thank you very much, everybody.
Please put your hands together for
Rotimi Daramola.
So I'll give Rotimi this microphone because I want him to do something. So I'll take a minute to confirm if everybody has filled all the parts of it. Have you filled everything? Everything. We have an attendee in the upstairs that just joined. That's joining us upstairs, but it's remotely. You know. So Papi, I want you to tell that story. I think we wrote it in chapter 2 or chapter 3 of the book we're writing, of how you left school, how you failed to succeed. Because I think that's what I want comments to be about. So tell us that story. How did you fail to succeed?
Okay. So this is a very emotional moment for me. And I always say that I think it needed to happen for moments like this. So I got my first admission to university, University of, it was at the time University of Ado-Ekiti, before it was changed to Ekiti State University. So I put in for computer science, but they gave me statistics. So it's like, and the statistics then, we had a lot of people. Okay, great. So the department then of statistics was basically a combination of those who initially picked the course and those who were rejects from other places. So you have somebody, you have a fellow statistician and say, oh, guy, did you initially pick statistics? The guy will say, no, I picked chemistry, but they said I don't have maybe chemistry or biology. And okay, you don't need biology, chemistry. So they said I should come to statistics. So it was a bunch of everybody, some satisfied with what they got, some not satisfied, some like me. And then I realized after 2 years that, look, I'm not feeling this statistics of a thing. So I stepped away from school. That's a nice way to put it, actually. I stepped I stepped aside and let school be doing this thing. And I realized that in that moment, I found out what I actually wanted to do. Because that was when I found my love for football. Or should I say, football found me. And most of the money that I've made in my life, if I tell somebody I love football, it's around football. Football has made me, the money I used to marry, it was football that gave me. It's true. And a lot of people look at this football that some people just sit down and watch. But it all stemmed from me stepping away from school and realizing I'm not interested in doing dy dx. If there's anybody who knows what calculation and differential and all of that, I don't want. And I stepped away. Some of the guys who we started together graduated, got jobs and everything. We were still looking for admission. But in that time, I found my gig with NaraBet because I remember, and I have to tell this story. I remember my contact person was having, I think, a session with Aki Alabi. The two of them were together. And Aki Alabi was asking him, said, I want to start a blog for my brand, that's NaraBet. I said, okay, all right. Who do you know that can do this? He said, I have somebody. And he called me. Of all the people he knew. But this was, I think, this was 4 years after I had stepped away from school. And I had loved football. I've made everyone know that, look, I'm the go-to person for football in your circle. Now, it wouldn't have happened if I had just continued, or let's just do the statistics, let's just do it. Now, is it a failure that I stepped aside? To some people, it is. Like my parents were mad. Like we were real mad. No, I'm spending all this money. This. At the end of the day, after we started going from radio to radio, featuring on global brands, they were now like, okay, we now see what you were. So, of course, there was evidence, so I didn't need to explain. But initially, I explained, there was no evidence. And that's what sometimes we need to go through, the process. The process I went through was being a castaway, being the weird one. Everybody did go school, they use their 4 years. Some, because of us, 5 years or 6 years, as the case may be. You went and you did not finish. You know how your Bible can be, you know? And there was a lot of sentiment around it, there's a lot of castigating around it, you know, you are the weird one, the black sheep, the black swan, as the case may be. However, it was through that process that I found what I loved, that I found how to make money with what I love. And if it did not happen, I dare say, if it did not happen, I wouldn't be here today. Because everything would have gone straight out, I would have become a statistician, probably gone to ICANN, D level, blah, 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 masters, and then I'll be maybe successful, maybe not, but I wouldn't have really found what makes me happy. What makes me happy? Ask him. I can talk about football for money. I'm just relaxing. Small now. Don't watch games. But I realized that in the period when I stepped away, a lot of people put a lot of pressure on me. There was societal pressure. You have to go to school now. Why you don't go to school? I'm actually done with school now, just for the record. I went back. Let's be guided. I went back and I'm done. So, but that time, a lot of people say, your mates are past there's this African thing around it. But I realized that, look, let my mates be going. Your time, there's one thing, they look at that person's time. There's one, I noticed it and it just resonated with me. So I needed that process, I needed that painful process to dig in deep to find out what do I want to do with my life? How do I want to figure it out and how do I want to make money with it? And I dare say that if school drama didn't happen, I probably would not be here. So with this viewpoint of mine, I think I've been able to, not to drop out of school, stay in school, kids. That's not the point. But I think you get the point.
Thank you so very much for that. That was important because understanding the speaker will give you a better idea of what life for people could be. And like I said in the group, today is about you finding yourself. And the first step to finding yourself is confronting everything about yourself. Right? Now I want you to go to that link and look at everything from the beginning to the end. Compare your priorities and your goals to everything else that you claim that you are doing or that you are doing with your life. Compare those two and see if they align. The goals that you are chasing, do they align with the interests? Do they align with your roles? Do they align with what you spend time on? And are there other things that you're supposed to be doing? So these are questions you answer for yourself. And then so the comments part of the form, one more time, put your hands together for Papi Ejo. Thank you so much. So I'll be a very, very unofficial person. So I mean, most of you know that. Very, very unofficial. Like, I don't understand why we have to be official like that. Yeah.
Doesn't get more unofficial than that.
Right? Yeah. So usually what we do is after the forms, we now sit down and look at it and do all of think about things and recommend actions for you, but that will be done. Please, this suite is for you just in case. That will be done hopefully on a later date or not. Who knows? But then, check through yourself and we'll review, click submit, and then we can say we've ended the first session.